I'm nearing the end of my first term of service as your Calleguas Board Director, Division 2. There are 5 divisions in the Calleguas service area, which is about 365 square miles in the southeast portion of Ventura County. It's important to know that Metropolitan Water District sells water to Calleguas, a wholesale supplier, which in turn sells to your water supplier. Given those relationships, I would like to highlight some of what has been done this past term to attenuate long-term costs, to enhance transparency, to encourage conservation, to solve regional issues that affect system-wide deliveries, and to keep our water system reliable. This highlights our reduction of long-term capital costs via the Build America bonds and the restructuring of debt for $2.5 million savings. This utilized the positive financial rating of Calleguas to incur a beneficial low interest rate. Providing regional solutions for local resource development and/or environmental stewardship. Instituted financial controls by rotating external auditors, tightening internal controls and approvals, adopted a quantitative reserves policy, reduced the general manager's salary by $50,000 a year, and focused on the development of a 10-year financial plan. We completed demolition of an unsightly and structurally deficient tank on a hillside across from Thousand Oaks Civic Arts Plaza and replaced it with a buried reservoir which is nearly complete and which will blend into the natural contour of the landscape. We continued progress on the construction of a salinity management pipeline, or brine line, which will facilitate desalination of brackish groundwater and stop future accumulation of salts in the watershed as part of local resources development. We directed concentration on a stakeholder-driven, basin-specific groundwater management plan. So what I bring to this job, I have over 30 years of professional water and wastewater services experience in both private and public sectors. I am currently engaged in full-time employment. Academically, after graduating from Thousand Oaks High School, I received a degree in biochemistry from Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. I appreciate your support.
Thank you very much. Our next candidate is Gary Pipes.
Thank you, everybody. I want to also thank the Community Foundation here at Oak Park and the Chair, Barbara Swartz, for inviting me this evening. I have a very short time to speak here to make the case for why vote for Gary Pipes for water, other than the fact that my last name is Pipes and we're talking about the water district. I've been a voter for a great many years, like some of you. However, this is my first candidacy. So maybe that's reason number 1 to vote for me. I am not a career politician. However, I'm a concerned Conejo Valley resident. I want to have a positive impact on the people that I represent. And I believe that that desire stems from the fact that I spent 20 years as a scientist here in Thousand Oaks at Amgen, and making a difference to patients' lives through the medicines that we created was a big part of the job enjoyment. And so that's why that is important. My science and engineering background at Caltech and then at Amgen, no doubt very helpful in this position, as is my management and small business experience. All of these components provide the knowledge and skills this job requires. And in addition, the fiscal accountability that must be implemented to make sure that both our water is safe and it's also affordable. I will not lecture to you on how important safe drinking water is. I'm sure we all know that. What is important, though, is you knowing that you're electing someone that also understands what it means to be faced with a large, ever-increasing water bills. You're electing someone who knows that when you burden agriculture with increasing fees, those fees trickle down to the consumer eventually. I also feel very strongly that service has gone out of public service. So if you would give me an opportunity to serve you in the Conejo Valley November 6th by voting for Pipes for Water District Director.
Thank you very much. And our next candidate is Jana Orkney.
All right, thank you. And I want to thank the Community Foundation for Oak Park, too, for putting this forum on so that we get to say what we stand for and why we want to be elected. I am running for a board seat on Calleguas Municipal Water District to represent you. I want to make sure that we have a good supply of water going into the future. I want to make sure that we keep the costs down as much as possible. And I want to help make Calleguas more transparent to us all here in the Conejo. I have a question for you. How many of you know what Calleguas does? Could you raise your hand? Oh, good. This is, the last time I spoke, there was like one hand. There's a few hands raised here. And how many of you knew before tonight that you were in the Calleguas district? Oh, this is a rockin' audience. Okay. Still at large, I think that Calleguas needs to tell its story more in what they're doing, as Scott mentioned the brine line and the Las Posas Aquifer. I was analyzing costs on our Oak Park water service bill, which really hits us in the pocketbook, and found that charges from Oak Park Water direct ones through Triumpho only accounted for 1/3 of our bill. The 2/3 were from Metropolitan Water District and from Calleguas, with Calleguas charges amounting to 21% of the bill. That makes decisions that Calleguas makes important to us, and I want to say on that board on what they are to make sure that we keep the costs down. And so I would just go from my experience. I've been on the Triumpho Sanitation District since 2006. Served, this is my 3rd time as chair, and we are dedicating a brand new water tank here next week, doubling the capacity in the conifer zone, and you're all invited. The dedication is 10-10-10 at Oak Canyon Park. Thank you.
Thank you. How about a round of applause for these candidates?